good? It's always good for the weekend, right? The free day. Okay, here you go. And then, Ethan, how's your weekend? What do you have? What do you have done? Just chill. What have you done? Watch movie. Morning, Jason. Oh, just sleeping. That's good. Jason, morning. Jason, just saying, Jason, we have a handout for today. And then, Abby, how's Abby? Abby, you're good? Here you go. I'll get it for you, Jason. No worries, Steven. Spoke here already? Okay. Not yet? It's hard for Monday. All the comments is on system. Okay, so if you want to see, okay, which part I can do improvement on next time, you can check the system. Okay. So today, I have a spare paper prepared for Ethan and Andy. Because last week you mentioned your week, you need help with the factorizing, right? And quadratic, right? To solve the quadratic functions, right? So by doing that, you really need to do the factoring polynomial, okay? Here you go. Here is the handout, extra work for you. It's not hard at all. It's just the procedure I mentioned during the lesson, right? How to do factorizing. Okay, the step 1, step 2, step 4. You just following the steps and then try to do more practice to strengthen your skills. Is that okay, Ethan? So during today's student hour, 4 to 5 p.m., you can come to A304 and then you can get this back. Is that okay? Oh. And then, or get my support, okay? Justin, do you want this? If you need to, because we need to do a lot of factorizing for rational functions later on, okay? Do the teaching over here. So homework check. So hopefully you all finished the homework from last week, okay? I can't remember. Maybe there is 1.6, 1.7a, and a b, right? I think in total we have 4. And I give you guys enough time during the lesson to do this. So I don't think it's going to take your very long time to finish this homework. Is that okay? So please make sure you submitted your work. You can turn it in if you finished it today. You can just bring it to me. Okay, I'll take it with me and then do the marking immediately. Because you need this for review, okay? No, we don't cover this in the unit test. Okay, so this is this. And then we don't have entry questions for you guys. Lucky day, it's Monday, right? Steven, do you need a pen?
Yes.
Okay, grab a pen. Andy, you need a pen. Ethan, you need a pen as well. You wake up already? Okay, good. So let's get it started. So last lesson, last week, we have been talking about a rational function. And then we mentioned 0. Do you remember what does that mean for 0? Those are the key features for the rational functions or any polynomial functions, right? Abby, okay, shall we start with the lesson? Okay, do you remember what does that mean for zeros? How would you get the zeros? X-intercept, right? 你想要0, 0, that means the y equals to 0, okay? But particular for rational function, we already know like the rational function looks like a fraction, right? So it looks like f of x equals to qx divided by the, say, sx, right? So if we want to find the zeros, we can just simply have qx equals to 0, right? Because the denominator cannot be equals to 0, right? Am I correct? Right, everybody? Andy? Oh, great, right? So this is how we can find the 0 from the functions. But we can also, if the question provides us with the graph, that would be better, right? Because we can read it directly from the graph, right? If we were looking for the zeros, we just find the point, intersect or meets or cut with the axis, right? That is what we call zeros, okay? All right, so host. those things we don't mention before, okay? So those key features we're gonna talk about today, okay? That is not very hard for us, okay? All right, so here is the first question. Question 1 is, what's the question, Justin? You're given a function. This is what we call rational function, right? And you're looking for domain of 0. Very good. So can someone tell me, please write it down on your handout. Try 1 minute. Think about it 1 minute, and we can discuss. Jason, find out the question on your page. The first question. Try by yourself. How do we find the domain, right? You're given a graph and function, both, right? Well done. That's the answer. It's here, right? Very good. Why? Because our denominator would never be 0, right? 我们的横坐标永远不能是不是我们的分子永远不可能为0 because this one is greater and equals than 0 and we plus 4, right? So the natural domain, it belongs to everything real, right? Real numbers. Okay, very good. What about zeros? How do we get the zeros? Justin, what you can read from a graph. Say that again. Y equals to -2. Where that number come from? Okay. So guys, so Justin shared his answer. Any other idea? Oscar, what's the 0, do you think? 0 means the graph intersect with the axis, right? So from the graph we can just read it. So the zeros, 1 0 is -4, the other one is 2. 一定是 x equals to, because 0 一定是什么？是分母为0，对不对？什么是 0 啊？ 0 is I want the y-x equals to 0, right? This is 0, right? If I wanted to find out the 0, I will have y equals to 0. And how do I get 0? Either here, right? Either the denominator is 0 or the numerator is 0. But we can't have denominator equals to 0, right? So the only thing I can do is the numerator will be equals to 0. So that, if you're not given with the graph, you need to do the factorizing. Okay, what's that mean? That means you need to do the factorizing before you get the solution. So that would be -4 and +2. Those two are the roots and zeros. Okay? By looking at the graph, the -4 is over here, just cut with the axis. And x equals to 2 is also cut off with the axis. Is that okay, Ethan? 清楚吗? You're okay? So what's the answer? Tell me. X equals to -4 and that's right. Okay. Justin, did you get this? Write it down. Jason, you okay? Okay. Oscar, you okay? Write it down. So, how do you get the graph? You need a calculator, right? So, you have a calculator, right? That's good. That's unspairs. That works too. So, if you don't know how to do the factorizing, how would you do? You don't leave it at blank, right? You use the calculator to find the intersect. There is a function on the calculator saying zeros, right? So you can directly use that function. Okay? Is that okay, Jason? Graph would be better, okay? It's more directly, okay? You don't have, if you're struggling with the factorizing, then you probably need the calculator, okay? Shall we go? Okay, so, let's back. Okay, so example 2, the question asks to find out the holes, right? 找什么？找这个 hole. How do we define the hole? The hole is something the function cannot achieve, right? Okay, So by giving this equation, it is a function, right? Not an equation. Rational function. The first thing we need to do is what? Oscar, Jason. 第一件事是干什么？他让你去找 domain host zero, right? 首先第一件事情要做 factorizing， 听懂了吗？factorizing。那么 factorizing 第一步是什么？分子还可以进行 factorizing 吗？不可以了，它已经这样了，对吧？分母是不是可以 ？The numerator needs to do the further simplify, right? How do we do this? Cross multiplication, right? 清楚吗？好 ，the cross multiplication. Okay, this part, Ethan and Andy, you need to check out the extended handout. Okay, so here is the simplify. After the simplification, you can get this one. Justin, is that okay? Oscar, okay. So that means we can cancel out. They're sharing the same 什么 common factor. What's the common factor? It's x minus 4, right? The linear factors, right? So what we need to do, we need to cancel out these two things, right? 取掉，对吗？ And then we only leave x plus 3, right? 那么这个是一个什么？ Oh, this is a linear functions, right? So on the graph, it shows a linear function, which is y equals to x plus 3, right? 当 x 等于0的时候 y 等于什么？ y 等于3。So it's passing through this point. 当 y 等于0的时候 x 等于什么？负3。It's over here. So this one look like this one. 那么 domain 是什么呢？ What is the domain? Easy, right? X not equals to -4, right? So negative infinity to 4 and 4 to positive infinity. Is that okay? 这有什么决定 Abby? Because the denominator decided the domain, right? Okay, please annotate it on your graph. Show me where is the hole. Okay. You need a ruler, okay? And y-axis, x-axis. Okay, label it. Okay, so are we good? Shall we go? Jason, did you write it down on your notebook? Okay, good. So here is a short summary. So if you don't know the rational function, we already mentioned this so many times, right? How do we define zeros? Of the function occurs when the numerator equals to 0 for all x in the domain. 听懂了吗？ 0 直接让分子为0。Okay? This is how we find zeros. Okay? Okay, check your knowledge. Give yourself a moment, please, to do the question on the second page. No, this page. Okay, then please turn it back. And then please write down example 4 by yourself, and we'll check the answer together. Find the domain, find the hole, find the 0. Okay, 快点. You can try to draw the graph on Desmos or your calculator to see the graph, how that looks like. Okay? This question, any questions for this one? Okay, now we have another example. So the example is you're not provided by the function. You're given with a graph, right? The graph is on your handout. It's also on the board. So now you need to look at the graph and then decide what is the domain. Easy, right? Domain. So everybody, please write down the domain. If you have a question, you can raise up your hand and I will check out. Okay, good. Well done. I'll check yours. Nice, Andy. Good job. Good job, Ethan. Ethan, the vertical asymptote should be x， 就是要画出这条线，无限接近于这条垂线。This is the vertical asymptote. If you say this is 0, 0, they touch each other. They can achieve. Vertical asymptote is 这个条线，无限接近到无法抵达，其实是这条线，对吗？然后你找到这个点。Host easy, zeros nice. over here. Everybody, you did good job, okay? So you just need to continue it and we'll check the answer together. Okay, then you need to wake up, okay? So let's check your answer domain. Good job, good job. Vertical, next one. Okay, horizontals and nice. What about the bi-intercept? Give me the domain and the bi-intercept. Okay, thank you. Can you share with Steven this one, this question? Why domain? Domain two parts, this part and that part, right? It's separated by the vertical and azimuthal. Guys, you can share within your room, okay? Y-intercept 是让 x 为0，就这儿。我们家里一会儿还会这样，domain 那个。因为它只有图。Let's check. Oh, here. Method 4. Guys, we have a question for domain. So we have now you need to complete the handout 1.8, both notes and practice, and turn it in, okay? Another 5 minutes for practice.
老师，下一次那个3课后不太对呀。这个是要我干嘛？
Sine table 他就问你的负无穷到负4的时候 y 是正还是负？ negative。sine 加有，对对对，跟之前有点像。0 要写 x equals to 嘛，因为他也不知道你是 y。x equals to negative 2。x equals to positive 2。That's good. Okay， 对，然后判定如果等于0就是等于0哈。然后你可以对答案。挺好的。Any question? 然后那你今天的任务是要把1.8和1.9都完成，然后我也会把他们的答案上传。OK，Andy, your work? 你等着回头一起交给我哈，盯着你。OK，Justin, Jason, Jason, your work? Show me your work. How many you have done? Come over here, Jason. Bring your work. Sit down. Domain? You don't know how to find domain? Why? Domain 就是 x 是属的。domain 就是你看这道题的 domain， 它是不是被这个 x 等于6 x 等于负4，这是它的 zero 点，相当于在这个轴上4和6是取不到，是 cut 的，对吧？然后呢，你看一下。
那我就是 x 是。
其实对这道题 x 就不等于6，因为你 cancel out 就剩 x 等于4了，所以 x
只会找这种 x 不等于。
对，就是 x 不等于6，所以左边右边都可以。因为根本不可能等于6，对不对？它的限制条件只有这一个，这个domain呢？
那是 x 不等于4和负2。
x 不等于2 x 等于负2。然后20的话是它的后，对吧？然后你在轴上面写一个是负2，一个是2，所以3个曲线，这个和这个。看，
那这个呢？
如果你现在你看 find the zero， 这就是 zero 是 y 的，那不是 x。这样，这个就告诉你，当 x 在这个区间，它的 f(x) 的 sin 和 f(x) 的 sin 小于0就等于f 负4呢，就是undefined点，你无法取到的就是 undefined。Okay, guys. 0 undefined. Guys, we're done. Thanks for your listening, and you all did a good job. And please finish your work, and then make sure you turn it in. Ask questions. Okay. Have a good day. Yeah.